There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything. That power that can make a way out of no way.
Today, in the world, there's so much suffering because of that one of prayer.
Welcome, everybody, to the Prayer Revolution. So glad to see you, be with you, hear you, have you in our presence. We're grateful. This is your daily prayer podcast. My name is Doyal, and I'm here with my good friend Vira. And this is the ultimate. This is it. Episode 100, 100th episode. So glad you guys are here. Our friend Julie in the chat board saying her dad, who has joined us on the show before, sends his gratitude and apologizes for missing the 100th. Our good friend Martha, Doyle, and Vera, thank you for every word, every smile, every story, every advice, every prayer. These days of prayers will stay in my soul as I continue on this beautiful path of love, of awareness, of peace, of surrender. I send you both a big hug and all my love. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Tony, Julie's father. And thank you, Vera. Thank you, Vera, for being here. Love you. Appreciate you. And my goal every day, I don't figure that, my goal is to make you smile, to see those teeth of yours. I'm not getting it right now, but my goal is to bring smile and
Work
laughter.
a little bit harder.
Work a little bit harder. How you doing this morning, Vera? I'm
doing great. Thank you. We're throwing gratitude around. Thank you, Mom, for having me. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mom, for having Vera. I'm sure it wasn't easy.
Big props. I know I was a big baby, and I appreciate that.
You were a big baby. I am a big baby.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Love looking at, if you guys haven't yet, Doyal Yoga, go on Instagram and go on a journey. Just like through Doyal, he's got his biography is up there with his heartfelt prayers. It's so beautiful.
My chubby baby face.
His chubby baby face is, in his football jersey is, flexing his muscles as a little 7-year-old, 8-year-old kid. Just a beautiful, beautiful boy. And you get to see a little window into the boy within. Let's see, baby Doyal. So highly encourage you guys to go check him out and be inspired seeing his journey.
Thank you.
Super grateful to be with all you guys. You are all angels, every single one of you. And bring out the best in me, for sure. Bring out the best in us and remind us of what's most important. It's the essence of sangha, the essence of association, of relationship is when we come together with somebody, we are more connected to ourselves and to God. And you do that for me and I know for us every single day. So we're deeply, deeply grateful and looking forward to praying and looking forward to continue. Doyle and I, he's going on a little vacay and a little digital detox, which is much, much needed during this time to be able to step away from the computers and the phones and, to trust that the world will go on without us. So crossing our fingers, the world will go on without us, and to trust that God is moving every blade of grass and every snowflake and every leaf that is blowing in the wind is sanctioned by the will of the Lord. So we'll take a little pause, but in our hearts, definitely we're brewing up something. I feel like I'm just getting warmed up. I don't want to stop. And so we're gonna take some time to see what the next step is, to keep sharing and keep connecting with you guys. So stay tuned. And for now, let's close our eyes and let's drop into prayer. Doya, is there anything that you would like to pray, or is there anything, would you like to lead the prayer? I'd love. I was just reading some of your prayers on Instagram this morning, and I was like, oh my God, you got you're basically, greedy. You're holding them all to yourself.
Well, maybe I'll read something actually that I read about prayer that inspired me. Let me just find it real quick.
Oh yeah, and you're singing today, just so you know. Just thanks, Kara. Thank you. Who put that on there? Mari. Thank you so much for the reminder. Theo, Mari.
I think since we're switching roles, I'm going to say the prayer and you're going to sing.
Oh, hey, how did that happen?
Okay, so this is something that, so I've been posting on Instagram, as Vera said, 100-day project. I'm getting there, and I've been reading. One of the things I've been doing is reading from this book, Courage to Change, which is a daily uh, prayer, meditation, affirmation book. And on June 30th, which was just 2 days ago, it mentioned this. So this is the little page. While walking through the woods one day, I was surprised to hear a child's voice. I followed the sound, trying in vain to understand the child's words. When I spotted a boy perched on a rock, I realized why his words had made no sense. He was repeating the alphabet. Why are you saying your ABCs so many times? I asked him. The child replied, I'm saying my prayers. I couldn't help but laugh. Prayers? All I hear is the alphabet. Patiently, the child explained, well, I don't know all the words, so I give God the letters. God knows what I'm trying to say. Years ago, when my grandmother told me this story, it meant little to me, but the spiritual life I've found has given it new meaning. Today, the story reminds me that prayer is for me, not for God, who knows what I'm going through without explanation. With prayer, I say I am willing to be helped. The meaning behind my prayers comes from my heart, not from my words. Today's reminder: prayer is my most personal form of communication. I can pray by consciously thinking, writing, creating, feeling, and hoping. Whether I reach deep inside myself or turn outward toward the majesty of nature, it is the spirit of prayer rather than its form that matters. Today, I will let my heart speak. Quote, God meets me where I am. If I am just willing, he will come. So today, my dear Lord, I pray for myself, for all of us listening here, and all those who aren't listening, that we open our hearts to invite you into each moment of our life. And it may not always be pretty. It may not always feel coherent. It may not always flow the way we feel it should, but none of that really matters. The only thing you're looking for is our sincere endeavor to come closer to you. And sometimes it's the crack in our voice that melts your heart and brings you closer to us. And so I pray that we can feel an unending, continued courage, inspiration, and willingness to throw ourselves at you with abandon, without fear, without worry of getting it right or doing it right or messing up, seeming foolish or feeling qualified enough. But there's no qualification to connect to you other than the willingness to allow you in. We can do it alone. We can do it with others. We can do it in our room. We can do it when we're walking down the street. We can do it out loud. We can do it in our minds. We can do it on pen and paper. We can do it on a computer. We can do it in meditation. We can do it in prayer. We can do it any way that feels alive for us in the moment. And so I pray that all of us continue this practice throughout our lives and throughout each moment. And that moment to moment prayer is the essence of absorption, the essence of love, the essence of spiritual path. That is samadhi. That is the deepest form of meditation, is when we're fully absorbed in your love and in your connection. So I pray that for all of us. And we pray through chanting your divine holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Doyle. Perfect. I was thinking if you were up for it, you could sing Cheto Darpana Marjanam.
Cheto Darpana Marjanam?
Yeah.
I wrote that song on guitar, but I forgot how to play it. Are you saying sing it like the Cheto Tarpana Marjana?
Yeah, however you want to. You don't you don't need any instruments or anything. Just
The whole song? Okay.
no, just yeah, that first verse.
Just the first verse? Okay. So there's this beautiful prayer. We chant um, the Hare Krishna mantra each morning at the end of our prayer. And there's a beautiful collection of prayers that was written by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called the Shikshastakam, the 8 instructions. And the first verse talks about these beautiful qualities of chanting. And sometimes this prayer is sung. Cheto darpana marjanam Pavamahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya kairava chandrika vitaranam Vidyavadu jivanam Anandam buddhivardhanam Pratipatam purnamrita swadanam Sarvatmasna param param vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. All glory to the Shri Krishna Sankirtan, which is the chanting of the Lord's divine holy names. That chanting cleanses the heart of all the dust that has accumulated for years. It extinguishes the fire of the conditional life of repeated birth and death. It is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it sprays the rays of the benediction moon, and it is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste that nectar for which we are always anxious. So those are the beautiful qualities of chanting the Lord's holy names and calling out in a sincere mood of prayer. That it can soothe our woes and it can awaken our heart. It allows us to taste that divine nectar that our heart is always seeking. And it is ever increasing. So that's the song.
And it's beautiful, you know, and just connecting it to your prayer that, right, it's like, you know, that calling out, you know, when you were praying, it was so beautiful that all we want to do is share our heart. That's all we want to do. We want to connect and we want to share authentically from our heart. And that sometimes, you know, we make it so complicated. You know, we really could make life so complicated, and really what we're attempting to do is just to share authentically, vulnerably, share our heart, and to call God in, to call love in through our relationships, you know, through loving relationships in our life and through relationship with our higher power. And chanting kirtan, you know, chanting God's names, there's no hard or fast rules. There's no, you know, it's a child can do it, anyone can do it, you know. And just how, you know, that how beautiful the relationship is of like a mother and their child, of a loving father and their child. It's not the perfect composition, it's not the externals first, you know, it's what's happening inside first, and what we're experiencing in our heart first. And that's what God wants, you know. It's not some specific, you know, perfect formula, you know, externally, and okay, we got that down, and now we're beaming up to the spiritual world. But it's what's inside of our heart, and that's what's attracting God, and that's what attracts anybody in our lives, you know. And we find ourselves in loving friendships and loving relationships, it's the heart that's being shared, and there's a flavor, there's a fragrance of the heart that draws another person near to us and draws God near to us. So I'm loving it. You know, it's so beautiful. The ABC, you know, yeah, just putting the letters out, like the essence, right? Like putting that sincere call out, like, you know, whatever comes out, right? Cracked voice, stumble, mispronounce, like it just doesn't matter. It's so secondary. It's, you know, it's, and the Lord is looking for for the essence of our hearts. And so
That's what I love so much about kirtan. Is some of my most powerful spiritual moments have been in kirtan. And sometimes when I'm in kirtan and I'm thinking of other people while chanting and sort of like praying for them and thinking about, like, it's kind of like, and I think about my past and my life and their life and all of our lives together, and it's just kind of like there's no exact words for it other than the Maha Mantra that we're chanting. And I just feel like it's just like this word that comes to mind. I just feel like I'm calling out to Krishna, just saying, come on. You know what I mean? Like we're doing what you said we should be doing. We're calling out to you. We're making ourselves available. Like this is all we know how to do. And this is the best we can do it. So please accept this from us. Like, please come on. Like, it's just like with this fervent kind of energy to just be like, please listen to us, hear us, receive us. And it just, in that deep, fervent offering, I feel that connection, not in the sense of that mood of a beggar, that mood of humble begging, where it's not trying to impress, but it's just trying to really sincerely, almost standing naked before God, just kind of showing ourselves. And I feel that when Krishna sees that, in bhakti, we have the opportunity to actually move the heart of God by our sincerity. And I think that's the essence of prayer.
Yeah. How do we find that, how do we find that sincerity? What do you do to find that and replenish that?
Well, I usually find it after a good beatdown by material nature. But I find it and feel it replenished by people who have it. I find people in my life who have that sincerity, and whether I associate with them physically or virtually through their classes, through their lectures, through my spiritual teachers, that I really live. I think it's extraordinarily essential to live in that mode of bringing spiritual teachers into the forefront of our consciousness. You know, kind of like in a healthy way. I live with my gurus in my mind and in my heart regularly. And sometimes I don't act in ways that they would be proud. And I don't, I don't always follow through on my best character. I have many defects and many flaws, but I keep their presence close to me, knowing that I need them to be part of my life, you know? So I think that's a huge one, because otherwise, it's I think about this often. It's like you watch TV or you watch a movie, and it's entertaining. Some of it is educational. Some of it is kind of deep and interesting and reflective, but it's completely devoid of God consciousness. You know what I mean? There's no element of like, they're trying to save the world and they think, dear Lord, please help me save this planet. Please help me save this. Batman's never praying for God's empowerment to save Gotham. It just doesn't work that way. It's just like he's this big, strong dude who kicks butt, And I think subtly that consciousness creeps into our mind, that it sort of subtly divorces ourselves from a spiritual center, And so if we're just moving through society, that's the message we're getting. And I think that what's super important is for us to start to put into our consciousness this idea that I need to beg for the mercy of great souls who have the sincerity I'm looking for, and bring not what would Batman do, not what would so and so do, not what would MacGyver do, not what would Will Smith do, or maybe Will Smith is a pretty spiritual person. But what would my gurus do? What would my teachers think of me? What would they do in this situation? What would I do if they were here watching me? I think that kind of pulls out that sincerity from us and makes us feel connected.
Yeah, it's so beautiful to have that vulnerability. And I was just thinking when you were saying, what would we do, if we were before our teacher? And yeah, what would we do? Like if we're feeling disconnected from God's will, what would we do? It's like a submission, it's like a admittance. It's like an opening that, wow, I'm feeling disconnected, like this is what's going on in my heart. I'm feeling this sadness, or I'm feeling this darkness, or whatever may be the case, that we feel that there's that shelter, right? It's like I feel like I'm in the storm right now and I don't know what to do or where to go. And um, you know, and we're able to bring that. We're able to bring that before a representative of God, able to bring that before somebody that carries that sincerity of heart, and it immediately it becomes transformational. It becomes being in the presence of a great teacher, a great personality, a friend, even just a friend. Doesn't have, it's not again, it's not external, right? They could be right with us already in our life, that devotee, that person who's sincerely connecting with God, and trying their very best, that to open our mind and our heart and confidence to somebody is the invitation for God to come back in and to illuminate whatever is taking place in our life, to make sense of it so that we can see it connected to a bigger picture and see how whatever is taking place in our life, it's actually helping us to become more sincere, actually helping us to become more surrendered and to become more connected, moment to moment, to God's grace. And so it's so beautiful, so powerful, the opportunity that's there. And that's for all of us. It's interesting, right? It's like, because you talked about this a lot too. It's okay, it's in those people, right? And it's like, okay, wait a minute. Well, I don't feel like I have that person right now. I'm staying with my parents and, wherever, right? I'm in quarantine with, by myself. Like, oh, wait, I don't have that. And if we're feeling that way, then that is our prayer, right? If we're feeling that way, wow, I don't feel that I have that connection. I don't feel like I have that person or those people I can really open my heart and mind to. And if we're praying sincerely for that, it just becomes revealed, like that yearning to want that connection, that yearning to want those quality of loving relationships becomes our path, becomes our vision, and begins to manifest. God brings it into our life so that we can, so we have everything that's needed. Each moment we have everything that's needed to connect more deeply. So
And so much
grateful
love
for
in the
you.
chat board here. Thank you guys.
Grateful for you guys. That is what you are. You are that. And so you're that amazing sangha. And so Doyle, hurry back from your vacation and just keep it going.
Let's do it. Okay, I'll be coming back. Everybody, I'm taking a little digital detox and vacay from July 3rd to July 11th. So I'll be checking messages here and there, but not as often. I'll be back after that. And Vira and I we want to keep something going, and there's some opportunities. You guys can be with us. Definitely. Vira mentioned yesterday that we talked yesterday, the day before, a recent episode about just coaching and learning about how to assess our deeper parts of ourselves and our goals. And he's willing to stay in touch and work with you, and anyone that wants to stay in that personal relationship, you can reach out to him. He also has a integrative lifestyle transformation course that some people on here have taken. It's a 4-week journey where you can assess values, lifestyle, how we spend our time, and to align our life in a way that's very fulfilling to us. And so you can reach out to him at vira@bhakticenter.org and find his courses or find his just his personal one-on-one sessions. Super, super valuable. I know several friends that connect with him on a regular basis and find it very meaningful. And I'm also doing a few things also that I'm going to be that I've already started continuing to do. We have a verse learning group that Aditi is running. Aditi's running this verse learning group that we had our first session last night. It was really sweet. And Nicole was there, and Jeff was there, Isabel was there, Barbara was there, Aditi was there, others were there. And we meet once a month. So that was our first meeting, once a month. We said we were going to meet for half an hour. I ended up going for an hour. So I got the gift of gab. Just keep clapping. But we go over 3 verses from sacred literature. We recite them, we look at the meaning, and then we collect them all in a Google folder, and people can learn or remember them and keep them going. We do that every month. So we have a verse learning group. If you're interested in that, just contact Aditi. Aditi will put you on the WhatsApp group, etc. And I also have a couple study groups that I'm doing. Starting July 15th, when I get back, I have a Wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita study group that I'm beginning. It's a 3-month study into the Bhagavad Gita. You can find that on the Bhakti Center website, bhakticenter.org/online. And I'll also be having a couple other wisdom courses that are coming up, a Bhagavatam study group. So if you're interested in studying or continuing more like diving deeper into spiritual literature, just reach out to me as well. And be happy to keep you guys connected. So there's a few things that we're doing, study groups, one-on-one sessions, courses that we're doing that you could be in touch with and keep going. And then we also plan to definitely re-envision another, whether it's an individual or prayer or something, podcast that we keep going, and would love to keep spending time with you guys. So there's a song. This is the beginning. This is not the end of it. This is the beginning. So this is the beginning.
Keep on singing, Bubba.
That's all I know. It was in a movie trailer once for a long time ago. I don't know if it's a real song or they just developed it for the trailer. This is the beginning. This is not the end.
Thought we could close with a prayer. Just a short prayer. Bryn had the great idea that, whoever capped it at one prayer a session, you just pray, just keep on praying.
Life is meant to be one continuous prayer.
Yeah. Doyal, you're amazing heart of gold. I pray that this time that you get, you don't take much time out of New York, but this time that you get out is deeply nourishing for you and for all of us. Let's close our eyes just for a few moments. And yeah, just like that little child, every single one of us, we're like little children, and we're putting ourselves before our higher power, putting ourselves before God. And we don't have the perfect prayer for you right now, my Lord. We don't have a perfect composition. We don't have the purity. We're not in that perfect place. We are who we are. That's each and every one of us. We're asking for you just to receive us. We know that you already know our hearts. We know that. And so really this is for us, that we can take this time to be received by you. These few moments, and we can pause throughout our days. I pray, my Lord, that everyone that's been tuning in, our beautiful family, this beautiful, beautiful spiritual family, that we can pause throughout our days. We can pause throughout our lives in little ways and big ways to invite you back in, to remember that you're always with us on this journey. We're never alone. And that just by opening our heart a little bit to you, just praying that we can open our heart to you, wherever we're at with that it's perfect. It's perfect, even if it's a moment without even a word. But just to call God back into our life, to remember that we're with him, that we're with our Divine Mother every moment. That's the perfection of our life. And so I pray that you're filled with remembrance, every single one of you. I pray you're filled with remembrance, that before you act, before any action takes place, before the thoughts take place, before the feelings take over, that you invite God into that experience. And you remember that your Divine Mother is with you always, and that you have the strength and the courage to respond with love in every situation in your life. I'm so grateful. So grateful for you, my Lord. So grateful for this family that you've given us. And pray, may our consciousness be illuminated more and more every day with you in the center of our lives. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. A beautiful, beautiful day, sweet friends. I'll see you soon. You're muted, Doyle.
Please keep in touch. Please be well. No, we love you guys. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Thank you.
It's so hard to say goodbye to my friends. See you later.
Jenna Pearlstein, Marie, Theo, Jeff, Julie, Rachna. Oh, thank you.
Oh.
Such a sweet, sweet. Someone wrote a thank you note. We see you in your thank you note. It's so sweet. Thank you, Mishi.
Be well, you guys. You're angels. You're angels, each and every one of you. We'll see you soon.
Alessia, Chandler, Trisha, Martha. Oh, beautiful souls. Thank you for that beautiful sign, Mishi. Michelle, it's so sweet of you. Kunti, good to see you. Brian, Isabel.
Love you, Mata. Take care, guys. You're amazing.
So sweet. Hey, nice wardrobe, Trisha. Looking good. Theo. Awesome. Beautiful. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in all the time. Souls. All right, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.